Welcome, everybody, to episode 13 of the effing title. And today, depending on where you are, we have our 8th guest and our first ever female guest. She's one of my longest streamer friends. Actually, I went online and looked, 10 months. We've been friends now. She's sneakily toxic. You would never know that if you actually watched her, but overall, she is a great person. My guest for today is A7 Hina 12. But I have to. Is it okay if I just call you Athena?
Please just call me Athena.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Thank you for coming on, Athena. How are you doing? How's your day going?
My day is good. It's so good. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Defy, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. So like I said, I went on at one point earlier today, and I was like, how long have we been friends for now? And I don't know about Instagram friends or whatever, but on Twitch we've been friends now for 10 months. So I was like, god damn, like that's one of the longest I think I've been friends with another streamer that's kind of outside the like few people that I started with, Um, so I thought that was kind of
a
cool.
long time.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I've known you longer than there's some people in in the town that I live in that consider me like a really good friend. Yeah. How about that shit? Today, as you can see down below, we got a variant of topics. We're going to be talking about computers. We're going to be talking about food, and we're going to be talking about England. So to start this off, computers. So Athena, when you're having a problem with a computer and the screen
I thought you said you weren't going to quiz me.
Yeah, no.
This is starting to sound like a quiz.
Yeah, well, I just had to start it off just to get you on your toes there,
My toes. We just talked about my toes too.
Oh, I know, look at that. See, bringing it all the way around, So the first one I was going to ask is this. So you were an Xbox person for a while, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so why'd you move? What was it? What was it that made you say, you know what, fuck Xbox, I'm gonna go to PC?
I don't think I ever really said fuck Xbox. I still love Xbox.
Okay.
But I started getting into streaming more, and it's virtually impossible. I mean, I feel like I'm talking to like the king of Xbox right now, but it's really difficult to stream Xbox.
Yeah, I can.
Really difficult.
I can.
So I started streaming on Mixer, which was easier because I had the app.
Mm-hmm.
But to move over to Twitch was kind of a pain in the ass. So I was watching a lot of streamers, and they're all on PCs. So yeah, I just decided to build one. Well, I actually had somebody else build it for me because I'm kind of useless.
Well, that was one of the other questions I had here is, did you build it yourself? So real quick, just to deviate, so Defy, this mug, I actually just kind of took it from the school that I was coaching at. It was in the coach's office, and nobody knew whose it was. And I just had moved into an apartment, so I didn't have any mugs, so I was like, oh, this is mine now. It's a fun little story of me being a mug.
Stealing shit.
Yeah. God, I'm trying to think. Nick it. I know this is later on. I know this is later on in the day that we're going to talk about this. But like, do you still use terms like that? I
try not to. I try not to because honestly, like when I hear it, like even if I hear my parents say stuff like that, I'm like, people aren't going to understand what you're saying at all. And growing up, like with like being British and then having like British parents like around Americans, it was like humiliating most of the time, which sounds so bad because like that's how I grew up. But like my parents saying stuff like pavement instead of like sidewalk.
Yeah.
Americans would just get like hung up on it. Like they would just like look at you with their heads tilted. And I felt like I spent most of my like teen life explaining what my parents actually meant.
Yeah, there's a lot of words like that still that I say, and I'll get a weird look, and I just look at them like, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. This is the English language.
I feel like I'm more like that now. Like I give less of a fuck now, but when I was 15,
yeah, I mean,
like, I definitely cared about it.
Yeah, of course. But anyways, so you said you had someone else build it for you, yeah?
Mm-hmm, yeah, so I had one of my good friends build the PC for me. He builds PCs like as a job,
Okay.
So it's kind of perfect, honestly, that I knew him. Yeah, he like put everything together. He kind of asked me like what it was for because he doesn't build like gaming PCs.
Okay.
He just builds PCs. So I told him like what I wanted it for. Um, and it took like forever. It took forever. So I would buy like pieces at a
I was gonna
time.
say, I think I remember back in the day when when you were streaming, like on Xbox and everything, and still, and you were saying like, like, yeah, like I got a new paycheck in, and
Yes.
I put, like I gave my guy like $200 to go buy something. I don't know what the fuck he's buying, but he's buying
I would
something.
do that all the time.
I remember. Yeah, I was
I
gonna
would
say, I
literally
thought I
just send him
remembered
money like
hearing you.
whenever I got cash. I just sent him like I
Whoa.
did like photo shoots or whatever. I would just send him money and he would buy like another part.
It's not that sort of
It took
podcast
like
now, Athena. All right, come on, calm down a little bit now. Ooh.
it took like 3 months to build it.
Mhm.
About 3 months. Um, and I'm still figuring out how to use it.
I was gonna say,
Literally,
so why,
close to 2 years.
then this is the question. Then why did you have someone build one instead of just saying like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and find, and I'll use it as an example because I buy a lot of their products, like an HP Omen desktop, and fuck it, I'm just gonna buy their best desktop gaming thing. Why did you go build it yourself
Mhm.
versus that?
Well, I looked into doing that too, actually. Just buying like one of those pre-made like gaming PCs.
Hmm.
I'm kind of a review whore. Like I will spend hours sitting there like reading stuff before I buy it,
Okay.
and like all the reviews on it were so bad, like on multiple like PC builds. So I reached out to a couple of people, and he was like the top of my list basically. And I asked him, like I would send him, like he probably got so sick of me. I sent him multiple PCs, multiple parts, and he was like, "Let me just do it." So he kind of took the reins on it, and I told him like what I wanted. Um, like I wanted all white because I'm a girl and it's important to me. So he like fished around and got it all for me.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's super cool.
That's cool. So of course, so now this one, this is kind of a little bit of an inside joke here, but would you suggest other people getting PCs?
Would I suggest it?
Yes.
Like for gaming,
Well, I mean, like I said, a little bit of an inside
just in
joke,
general?
because of the thing that you always yell at me about, you know.
I mean, Husky, if you want to keep friends, if you want to go in 13 months
Wow. If I want to keep
with,
friends, you all heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
I would highly recommend
Hey,
getting a PC.
I'm just saying. I lived. I played football with, and I lived with, three of my best friends, who are now a huge compartment of my stream. Who all of them
Mhm.
went out and got Xbox Ones, not just so they can play with me, but
Right.
I'm just saying, it's like, so. Really, the question is, do you want to keep your friend Athena? How about that, huh? Throw it right fucking
Why
back.
don't you want to get a PC?
So my thing is, like, right now, is this the other thing? And I've kind of hit on it a little bit, but
Hmm.
not always. But not a lot, I should say.
Hmm.
If I did get a PC, I wouldn't play Overwatch on a PC. If I get a PC,
Right.
I won't play Apex on the PC.
Really?
I already played them. Why would I want to play them again on something else?
That's what I did.
Oh no, I understand that, but like why?
Because that's what everybody was playing.
That's okay. I
Um,
have a team that I play with. We do pretty well. We don't always win, but we do pretty well.
oh, like you would say because of like the people that you're playing with.
So it's a little bit of that, but then also like it's one of those things. Like, you know how much money I've put into Overwatch.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's like,
Yeah, something like that. Like I didn't carry over
see,
for Twitter. Like
that's
I
my
didn't.
thing. Is like, I've done all this stuff on Overwatch. I've done all this stuff on Apex, and now it's like, cool. Now I'm gonna start playing on PC, which means I have nothing.
Right.
The incentive
Yeah.
there is like, the incentive for that would then be, it's like, okay, well, now you can grind back to where you were. It's like, okay, or I could spend that time playing on Xbox and grind further, So, like, it's one of those
Right.
things. I like, eventually, yes, eventually I will get a PC. Like
Hmm.
I just said, those two games primarily I will not be playing. But like you already see, I play Valorant, and I've been playing that more
Right.
and more. It's one of those things, like, I would download more games onto my laptop, and I would play said games on my laptop. It's just that I don't know physically if my laptop can handle it. That's the best way of putting it.
Right.
And like when I eventually buy a PC, because like my laptop originally was for coaching. Big thing that a lot of
I
people
remember you
don't
saying
know.
that, yeah.
Yep. I bought it for coaching so I could travel with it, and I was watching the Overwatch League, and they're like, "Hey, this is the computer that we use," and I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna
Right.
buy it."
But it's a gaming laptop though, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's a gaming laptop with 5 presets that I don't know how to use, and all sorts of other stuff that I don't know how to use.
It's
But
okay. My nephew turned off the lights on my keyboard the other day, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it back
oh,
on.
really? Oh, that's funny. Well, that's kind of like one of my buddies. One of my buddies, Jeff. Yesterday, we were playing. We were playing Apex, and suddenly he just wasn't there.
What?
Like we were playing, and then suddenly he just wasn't there. And then, like within like maybe a few minutes, he comes back on, and he's like, "Yeah, so my boy came downstairs, pressed the button, turned my Xbox off, and then ran back upstairs." It's like, okay, beautiful, love it. You gotta, you
My
gotta.
little dog used to do that, Raven. She would walk by it, and like her nose would touch it, and it would just like boop, boop, turn
Oh,
off a
that's
box.
funny. Xander, thank you for the host. I really appreciate it. But like, like eventually I will get one. The other thing as well is that like I want to get to a point where like I would like to get to a point where I'm starting to get an income from YouTube, which would be that's still fucking ages away. But like I want to get to a point where like the PC kind of pays for itself, and I'm
Right.
not there yet. That's my
Yeah.
thing. Because like I said, a lot of the stuff that I do is on my laptop and I can just do
Right.
everything. So I mean so then that brings me to this next part though. Other than gaming, what do you use your PC for?
I use it for editing now too. I wasn't using it in the beginning for editing pictures.
Okay.
I did everything on my Mac, but I had it for so long. It's like would take forever to boot up. To download pictures literally take years. And I didn't even like realize how long it was taking, so I was just so used to it. But I switched it over, so now I edit on the PC too,
And
which
when you say
is
edit, you mean editing. There we
photos,
go. Okay.
full weddings and engagements, all that fun
So
stuff.
if you give me a link or something for your thing there, I will also put that in the YouTube video description
Thank you.
if you want. I've seen some of the pictures, just from random things that she's either put online or just they've been on her stream by accident and she didn't mean to show them, but she did. I think it takes really good photos.
Thanks.
Welcome. But yeah, no, I get that. I have my old college laptop, and that's what I used to edit videos on when I first
Yeah.
started doing YouTube stuff. And I was making videos, and a 10-minute video would take 3 hours
Oh my god.
to
Oh my
edit.
god. I remember you saying that actually.
Yep. And then I decided, I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to see if I can get this on my main laptop. So I put it on my main laptop. And yep, there we go. It takes now
It
10
is way
minutes.
faster.
It takes like 10 minutes to make a 10-minute video.
Yeah.
So so moving on from computers.
Can I say hi to your chat? Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, you're allowed to say whatever you want.
Okay. Hey guys.
Totally not awkward at all. Hi everybody as well. So moving on from computers to food. So food, huh?
She's saying hi to you.
Huh?
Not you, Xander.
Wow. There you go, Xander, not to you. I miss the computers. Sigh. So here, just an easy starter one for food. What's your favorite food? If you had to pick one meal you had to eat for
One
like an
meal?
entire week, let's just go one meal. Or like food or something, the typical thing,
My favorite meal. Can I have two? Am I allowed two?
Sure.
I love how you're just like, sure.
It's not like this, it's not like there's rules here, with that sort of
I
stuff.
didn't know. I don't want to break any. I love Mexican food. I love Mexican food so much.
Okay.
So tacos for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Tacos or sushi, Red gets it. I love sushi too, but roast dinner, like an English roast dinner,
Okay, yeah.
fuck me up. I could eat that every day.
Yep, yep.
Meat, potatoes, veg, like all day.
Yeah,
So damn good.
yeah, yeah. And I'm thinking about my the English roast my grandfather used to make. Yeah.
It's the best. It's like the best comfort food ever. But it's kind of like a whole like mood food too. Like I don't know if I would like want to eat it every day here because it's too fucking hot here.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's such like a like it's got to be cold outside. Like it's like situational.
I
But
can
it's
see
one
that.
of my favorite meals ever. Like I get just as excited every time my mom says she's making it. Like there's never a time where I'm like, "Ugh, really again.
God, again with this. I'd
Feeding me food again.
I'd have to say for me, almost anything chicken. If it has chicken, I'm down.
Really?
I'm a huge chicken guy. I love chicken. Basically, like anything chicken related, I'm down for. It's I don't know what it
I
is.
feel like you're super rare. Like people don't usually love chicken.
See, that's the thing.
Like they eat it, but
I I almost would rather chicken than steak. And I know a lot of my college buddies already know that about me, so they won't be shocked with me saying that. But yeah, no, I would
if I
rather.
would have known that before this, I wouldn't have done this.
Wow.
Yes.
See what I mean by the beginning part here with the sneakily toxic part, you know? Um no, I like I'm always like the other one as well for me is like, and podcast over. I there's just something about chicken that you can do and the amount of shit that you can put like with it. This just it's head and heels over a steak. You know, like a good steak is a good steak, yes. But like, it's like chicken and waffle, chicken parm. It's like there's all these different versions of it that you can do and it's like, yeah, no, like for me one of the
But just
ones
like a good steak with like salt and pepper, like
oh, I get you there, but
oh
I mean,
my
like, so,
god.
like, yours is, so, like, that's my other thing is like, it's a good steak, but it's like, okay, so with chicken, like, for example, eat it in chat just wrote, chicken gets so boring. Chicken gets boring if you're boring, chicken you can do so much with, a steak is a steak. Unless you put other shit with it, but like chicken, there's so much you can do with it. I mean, like, well, you can, chicken and waffles, chicken teriyaki. I had what was the one? What was the fucking one I had today? I don't know. This is my sheet for today, for this week for my freshly stuff. Where the fuck was it? Creamy
I'm
cashew
excited.
coconut chicken with brown rice and veggies.
Okay, it sounds pretty good.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said,
Flank steak, like chopping it up
I
real
mean,
thin.
don't get me wrong.
I would literally just eat that
Don't get me
without
wrong.
anything else.
I like steak. Don't get me wrong. I do like steak. But if it was like one of those things where it's like either steak or chicken, I'm picking chicken all day. Like
I'm
hands
picking
down.
steak every day.
Also, I love how like this is the topic where everybody has now just lost their fucking mind. With
Flank
for
steak is
chat.
so good.
It is.
Flank steak, like in like a slow cooker. Oh my god, next level. I feel strongly about this, Sam.
Yeah, so now like
Yeah, that would be my thing.
kind of like what you said, well, like you were saying, I had the next thing I had was comfort food question mark. It's like, there's so many. For me anyway, comfort food can be one of those things where it's like, well, I feel bad about myself, yeah, there's no wiggle today, so just accept this.
Just accept this.
Yeah. But so like I can hear it in my heart. Like I comfort food's one of those weird ones to me because I feel like comfort food has multiple different meanings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
Comfort food to me too, like is like someone else making it for you. Like it's like again, it's like a whole mood thing.
yeah,
Like food just tastes better if it's made by somebody else. Like you can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but if somebody else makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for you, it's like next level good.
okay, yeah.
Like it's so much better.
So this next one, I'm gonna enjoy this one because I don't think a whole lot of people in chat are going to understand this one. English food versus American food.
English food all day. All day.
So
I'm not just saying that, like for real.
and
It's
that's
so
the
much
thing is like
better.
I wholeheartedly agree. Like my one that I always go to is like this is just my easy one. This is my easy one to to say to people, and like especially like like right now like with chat, like so here eat it says America has all the foods. So here we go. So is there a full aisle that's just dedicated to pre-made sandwiches in an American store?
No,
No.
there's not.
Oh, in England there is. If you walk into a Tesco, there's a full fucking aisle that's nothing but pre-made sandwiches.
I haven't thought about Tesco in so long.
Right? I mean, it's my aunt over there. She used. I don't know if she still works for him or not, but she used to work for him. So we kind of got a little bit of deals in every now and then. But like, I'm not gonna lie to you. About every maybe 3-4 months, I go to Tesco.uk and .co.uk, and I just start looking. Yeah. But no, like there's certain things English wise that I feel like are just is better than American wise.
Like English chocolate,
yes,
so much better.
100%.
Like hands down, so much better. I was so disappointed when I first moved here and I had chocolate here like Hershey's. I'm like, ooh.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
not good. Like it's fine now. Like you kind of just get used to it.
Well, that's what I was about to say. The weird one for me is, have you had the Maltesers?
Not wait, they have those here.
They have them here now. They have Maltesers here, really? And they do not taste right. So I don't know if it's the fact that I've been here for so long that they don't taste right, or the fact that they made them wrong.
I don't know. There's a difference, though, for sure.
John, we can't steal Indian food when we took their country.
England has a lot of really good Indian food.
Mm-hmm.
So much Indian food, actually.
Indian food. Some of the best Chinese places I've been to were in England.
Yeah, 100%.
One of the other ones is like that I always think of is that so here I'll do a typical example for everyone out there. You're completely shit-faced, and you're walking down the street of the town, and you need something greasy, and just you need something. What are you gonna do? What, you're gonna go to Taco Bell, McDonald's? No, you're gonna find the local chippy, and you're gonna get a nice big thing of fish and chips.
Yeah, with curry sauce.
They wrap that shit in newspaper. That's how you know that it's good. They're like, no, this shit's so greasy that we can't physically put it into a normal thing. We have to put it into something else.
It kind of is the best, especially when you're like walking like with it and like it's so cold outside and your hands are so fucking freezing and you have it in your hands and it's like burning your hands, but you don't want to like put it down.
Exactly.
So good.
Well, like that, and then also
put, like, a shit ton of vinegar on it and you smell it. Oh my god.
Like that's like so well, that's one of the other ones. It's like vinegar. It's like at almost any place you would go, there's vinegar on the table.
Yeah, that's my love language.
When I first moved here, like that was one of the very first things. Like we went to, there's a little diner in my town. I took John, me and John went there when he came up here last to visit. One of the very first times I went in there, I got fish and chips, and I like asked them if I could get vinegar, and they looked at me like I was an invalid, and like
malt vinegar.
And I'm just kind of like, that's the thing. They brought out regular vinegar, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, oh. And like it was just like, and my mom was like, do you have malt vinegar? Like, and I was like, it was a whole fucking ordeal.
Lemonade's different too.
Yes, there's certain things, and it might just be this. It might just be that thing of, like the typical foods, because like a Scotch egg. Have you seen a Scotch egg since you've been in England? I mean, since you've been in England, since you've been in America.
I don't think so.
Like, there was where my grandparents lived, we could go down to Millet's Farm. Millet's Farm was about a maybe 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
Go down there, go into the little store they had there, and get a fucking basically fresh made Scotch egg. See, John, that doesn't count, okay? England Land Epcot doesn't count, okay?
England Land.
But like you used to go and they just get a Scotch egg. Here it's like I said that to people and they just look at me like I'm an idiot and I don't know what food is or what words are.
Right.
I don't know. There's just there's so many little things like Branston pickles.
Oh my god, I
Like
love Branson pickles
like
so much.
just
I just
like
love food.
well, like that's
That's
the
the
thing, right? It's
problem.
like
You can say anything, I'm like, "Oh my god, fuck me up, it's so good." Like, you said that about the last 6 things, Athena. Like, relax over there.
well, I mean, it's just like well, like my thing is like this. It's like like, and I've gotten some of my friends from college into some of the stuff,
Mhm.
but like like I can't remember ever being like, you know what? I don't want a piece of white bread with some butter on it, put some cheese
Mhm.
on it, throw some Branston on that bitch, and then put another piece of bread on that. And that's what I'm gonna have for lunch today.
Yep.
If I could do that daily, I fucking would.
I probably would too, actually.
So now, of course, so Marmite. Where are you on? Do you love Marmite? Do you hate Marmite? Like,
I surprise, surprise, I love Marmite.
yes, there was a time recently where I was a little strapped for food, and I was literally eating spoonfuls of Marmite at dinner.
That's not a good
Yeah, no, it's not
meal.
good at all. But like, it's like I'm a huge love Marmite, love it. Also, have
Yeah,
y'all
I love it too.
seen the differences in
That was like a
American
whole
schools
I don't know
and
if
others?
anybody, like, knows. So, like, Marmite's like a
It's yeast
I don't
extract.
even really know. Okay, yeah, so it sounds really gross, but it's really good, and you put it on, like, sandwiches and stuff, but, like, the whole thing was, you either love it or you hate it, like, that was their slogan, so, like, all their commercials is, like, somebody, like, extremely loving it, like, literally bathing in it, and then, like, another person, like, setting it on fire, like, that was, like, the whole thing.
Like, I
You
don't.
either love it or you hate it, so that was, like, a actually super smart, like, marketing,
Well, and
like,
that's the thing
ploy.
is like I was gonna say like it's like I love that marketing because it's the most ballsiest marketing that you can basically do, where you just say either you love it or you hate it.
Right, there's no in between, and truly, like, there's really no in between,
Yeah, no,
and it literally, like, split everybody. I don't think I've ever met somebody that was like, "Oh, I kinda like
there
it."
was
Like,
one
you either love it or you fucking hate
oh
it.
god, what the fuck? Tango. Do you remember
Oh, I
Tango?
like Tango.
So
Yeah, the orange drink.
yeah, so for everyone out there, Tango was like a Sunkist, right? But they had a commercial that came out, and it was when I was a kid. Um, so it changed for you, I think, Athena. Probably
Mhm.
because it changed very quickly. But what it was that it would be like someone drinking. They would take a sip out of the drink, and then they would like like that, right? They would like shock look, and
Mhm.
then it would be like, okay, let's take a review of this and let's slow it down real quick. So they would slow it down, and it was a fat guy in a giant like just onesie, orange onesie, and he's like running around like really fast, that sort of thing. The guy takes a sip of the thing and he taps him on the shoulder. The guy turned around and then he smacks him in both the fucking ears. So it's like smack him in the face, like that's what it tastes like, It's like it's a slap in the face. That's what it is. So like they did that immediately after that commercial aired. There was a fucking skyrocketing number of people going to the hospital for kids smacking each other in the fucking head. And I remember because I did it to one of my friends. And it was like kids fucking bursting their eardrums and everything, and they immediately had to change it, and they changed the commercial to like the guy like putting his hand like this and then kissing the hand and then running off. But it was such a fucking funny thing. Like English commercials, it's I don't know. Maybe it's just
So
it's.
many I mean, commercials everywhere get like, have you seen, like, band commercials or, like, commercials that never, like, was
Hmm.
able to, like, be aired? That's
Yeah,
one of my favorite things to look at
there's
too.
one of my favorite ones for that is like it's my favorite one for that was there's a German one, and it's like something about like learning, like understand what you're saying, like learn the language sort of thing. And
Yeah.
it's they get into a car, family gets into a car, and
Oh
they
my
turn the
god, yeah, I've
radio
seen
on.
this.
Yeah, and it's just I wanna fuck you in the ass, do 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 do, and the mom looks at the dad kind of like negatively, like what the fuck, and then they start bouncing and tap into it, and then the kids in the back can tap into it, and they're all
They're,
like
like,
big
dancing to it.
smiling and dancing, and it's just like English humor is much better than American. Yeah, there we go. There's another one.
I don't know all the time though, because it's English humor is so cut and dry most of the time that, like,
It's
you really have to, like, understand it to, like, enjoy it.
When that's the thing is like
And honestly,
it's
sometimes it's too much. Even sometimes I'm like, "Alright, like, chill the fuck out."
oh no, I fucking love it. I fucking love it. I love it. I'm all for it. No.
I guess I'm still around it a lot, and sometimes I'm like, "Alright, we're done."
Well, see, that's the thing is like my mother is English, my dad is American.
Mm-hmm.
So like I sometimes get it, but my dad loves it too. You know,
Right.
so like my mom will send me stuff, and I'll be like, okay, that's fucking hilarious. And then like eventually dad will be like, did you see the thing mom sent you? And I'm like, yeah. And he'll be like, yeah, she sent me fucking 8 of those last night, like that sort of thing. And I just like, God damn, all right, dad, I get it. You don't, you're not fucking entertained right now. Um, but I don't know. I mean, it's there are, and now of course, American food. There's so many things American food wise that it's just like a corn dog. I didn't even know what a fucking corn dog was when I was in England. That's not a
Peanut butter. I
thing.
didn't know what peanut butter was until I moved here. But I
That's
never had
like
mac and cheese till I moved here either.
there's so many little things like that that like of course we're saying that right now. People in chat and that are listening are probably thinking like, what the fuck? But like there's
I
so
was
many
15 before I ever had peanut butter.
yeah, there's so many
I'm
little
making up
things
for it
like
every
that.
single day.
Like it's fucking it's crazy. Like like can you ever remember like an English barbecue?
Yes.
Okay, can you now picture an American barbecue?
Yes.
It's fucking like night and day, drastically different. Like an English barbecue is like a lot of like finger foods, and then you might get like a hot dog or a burger, but it's mainly just like finger food, like little sandwiches or like little like
Yeah, it
cocktail
really is.
weenies. That's another one is little cocktail weenies. You know, you go to like an American barbecue, and it's just like everyone fucking here knows what an American barbecue is like. You know, you're talking
American
bar.
barbecue is a lot better.
Oh, 100%.
Like night and day fucking better.
Like barbecue and grilling, John, like both. Like like when we used to do like basically when we used to like go to Brooks's and do it on his porch, like that sort of thing, like that. Even compared to like English is just no English barbecue is not better. Like English barbecue slash grilling is nowhere close to American. Like not even close.
Hmm.
Like that's the thing is like there's subtle things that are just different. You know. Um. I mean, but like Athena said, overall, like I like food. Like
Yeah, American barbecue is definitely a lot better. I'm trying to remember like the last like English barbecue that we had.
the
It
last
really was like a lot of like pre-made or like made like stuff that was like made in the kitchen and then it
hmm
was just bought outside.
Yeah,
And
like
then there was like like a couple of things that were like grilled.
the last English barbecue I went to was when I went to England, and that was it was it when my grandfather passed? Or was it after my grandfather passed? It was after my grandfather passed. It was like 4 years after my grandfather passed. We went back there. That's the last time I've been to England. Um, and uh, we had burgers that got everybody sick. Um,
Really?
yep. And then it was chips or crisps, as me and Athena know them. Then it was like little cheese sandwiches or little cheese and cucumber sandwiches, and
That
then
sounds terrible.
it does. But then you know what the best part is? I was like, you'd fuck with one right now, don't you? Like, and then it was just like little sausage weenies, and like that sort of thing. Um,
Right.
but like that's all it was. Like that was it. And then like I think about the last like American like grill barbecue thing I had. It's just tons of meat, barbecue sauce. Just mashed potato.
Right.
Potato salad. It's like oh. But was there beer?
But
There's
was
beer
there
in
beer?
both, John. There was beer in both. Of course, there's beer. Like
Beer everywhere. We would
um.
do we would grill a lot of steaks. Like like summertime, we would eat outside pretty much every single day. Um so my dad was always grilling steaks. Not necessarily like huge like T-bone steaks, but like steaks.
Mhm.
Um yeah, I guess that was like more of like a party thing. Like if you had like people over, you would make all those like extra things. But if we were just like the four of us, like my parents and my sister, like we were like grilling like chicken for like salads and like steaks and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, like, and
We
it's
used to have a
like,
lot of crazy parties though, and we would grill out too. Like neighbors would bring their like grills over.
oh yeah. Well,
We
it's
did
like,
that for what was it for? World Cup one year, and
yeah.
like it was like a street party. Like all the houses are so close that everybody like on the whole street like knew each other. And like I was there since I was like 2. So like pretty much grew up there. I knew everybody, and nobody really moves around too much. Um, but everybody came over to our house because our house was always like the party house. And the person across the street from us, he was a firefighter, and he got the fire truck or the small fire truck, and he had the big like hose on it. In our backyard, we would set people up. Um, Obviously, everybody had been like drinking like crazy, but they would like sit on these little plastic chairs facing the other way, and whoever like lost the game that we were playing got like
Hosed?
blasted with the hose.
That's fucking
Yes,
funny.
and like knocked off of the chair. I must have been like 10, maybe 10. I don't know. There was always crazy parties though, and then we all end out in the street, and we're just hanging out on the street.
Well, it's like
That was like the best.
it's like one of the things like John asked, was there beer, English beer? So like my thing was this is like so when I had English beer, it was it when I went back. I think it was when I went back for my grandfather's funeral. That was when I actually first had it, like English beer in England, like that sort of thing. Um, and this is gonna paint my uncle in such a bad picture, but I love my uncle to death. Um, so we're there. It's like one of the last days. We're having a barbecue before we leave, like that sort of thing, right? And I say to my dad, I was like, you think my uncle will let me have a beer?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Go ask him." So I go over and I'm like, "Hey," I was like, technically I'm 18. That means I can drink here. And he's like, "Yeah. What do you want? Do you want a sipping beer, or do you want just a I hate my life and I hate my wife?" As he looks over at his wife, and then beer.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I don't know. I was like, just give me a sip from beer. It's like, I was like, this is my first beer. I was doing one of those things to him, and he's like, yeah, fuck you, it is. Um, Mind you, as well, when my grandfather passed, this was 2 months into my freshman year of college. So like, we just up and like for a week, we just gone. We're
That
back
was
to
the
England.
last. That was the last time you were there.
Yep. Oh no, that was the second last time I was there. The last time I
Oh,
was
okay.
there was before my senior season of college.
How often do you go back?
I haven't. That was the
Yeah, I haven't
last
been
time.
back in a while either.
Um, but so I was like, give me a sipping beer. I was like, I'll have a sipping beer. So have a sipping beer. I'm just slowly drinking it. Eating the food, enjoying everybody there. And I look over, and my uncle, exact same beer, the so-called sipping beer, just downs one, throws it away, gets another one, cracks it, downs that one, throws that one away, grabs another one. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? So I go over and ask him. And he was like, Colin, when life sucks and you're married to a bitch, you just drink as much as you can. Doesn't matter what type of
Jesus
beer it is.
Christ.
And I remember it vividly because immediately that was my like brain and my thought process going back to college and drinking. And yeah, that caused quite a few problems when I was in college.
What
Just
beer was it?
I don't fucking remember. I
I
was
want to know. I want to know what beer to avoid.
But I mean, I took it from like, oh, okay, just drinking like that. Okay, cool. To
Right.
yep, nope, I'm just gonna drink everything like that. So like,
Right.
I remember college parties where I was going home with a handle of fucking whiskey, and
Yeah.
yeah, good times. Um,
It was never like that for me back there. I mean, drinking is like part of tradition there, so
mhm.
to say. Like it's just so common.
It was like my
I was constantly around it.
yeah, I mean, that was one of the things I remember us having that conversation a while ago, where it's like, like I never saw my grandfather at night not have a glass of whiskey, or my
Right.
grandmother not have a glass of wine. Like I
Hmm.
never not saw that. Like that was just that's what they did. You know.
Smoking was so huge back. Like I
Oh
remember
fuck yeah.
when I was little too, everybody was smoking. Like I grew up, like pretty much my whole family was smoking.
One of my 12-year-old friends was smoking when I left.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter. Shocking. His name's Peter too. You know. So now back to America and food here.
Hmm.
What's some favorite places that if friends that are watching or anyone that's watching decides,
Hmm.
I'm going to go out and I'm going to go get something to eat, while I'm in Florida. In your
Hmm.
area, what's some favorite places that you would highly suggest that people go to?
Like names of places.
Yeah, sure. Just, kind of like a promo without promoing. So think about, which places there you like.
Um, what kind of food do you like? And
Me?
I'll name a place. Yeah.
I'm a fan. I like all food. Like,
What's your favorite type of food? American food.
I don't know. Just I mean, literally just go.
Do you have? Just go. All right. I love wings.
Okay.
There's a place by me. It's called Wings of, and then it's like the place that I live, so I'm not gonna say it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Um, and then there's another place called Servando's. That's like a Mexican. It's like a mom and pop sort of deal. It's like a dad, his son, and then like his like son's son. It's
Okay.
like super super family, but it's so good. It's so good. That might be one of the first places that I actually go to when, well, on Monday quarantine's lifted here,
Ooh.
or like, yeah. So restaurants are going to be 25% at
Mm.
capacity. So I'm going to try to go there. Um, there's a couple of other places. I just really like Mexican food. I really like sushi. Pretty much anywhere like in the downtown Disney area, like that food, like Disney Springs,
Mm.
food is so good. It's just expensive, but it's delicious. I took deer to a restaurant down there. It's one of my favorites. We had a romantic dinner.
Aw.
It was beautiful. You should ask her about it next week.
Okay. I will. I'll write that down right now.
um,
Romantic
we
dinner.
literally got to this restaurant and I was calling her dear the whole time. They probably thought we were together. So they set us out on the back patio by the lake, and then they like it was kind of cold,
Mm-hmm.
so they like lit candles for us. They put like the fire like heaters on,
Oh, that's awesome.
and she's like, they 100% think we're together. I was like, we are together.
Well, that like
But yeah,
so.
it was beautiful.
So of course that goes into part of the next one, but um,
Hmm.
dear. Do you
Hmm.
like for instance, is your old man? Does he still say like love or dear when he's just talking to like anyone?
Mm,
Because like I
no.
don't know if I picked it up from my grandfather, or if I picked it up from one of the guys I went to college with. But
Hmm.
like if I'm out at a restaurant and like like
Hmm.
someone takes my order, I'll say like thanks dear or thanks love, like that sort of thing.
Hmm.
And like I've been told before that that's not what you should do, and I'm like, that's what I know to do. And I've actually had one girl, get mad at me because I called the waitress love. Um, I'm like, yeah,
I
I know who this random person is that we just traveled 30 minutes to go to a restaurant for. Yeah, you know.
my granddad kind of does that, but not so much anymore. She has he has a hard time hearing people at restaurants now, so he just stares at them.
Yes, love it.
He's getting into that phase. He's still fucking hilarious. He's one of the funniest people that I have ever known in my entire life. He's probably top 3 favorite people ever to me. But yeah, he kind of just stares at people
That's
now.
awesome. I mean, that's how I feel about like I still feel about my grandfather, even though that he's passed. But
Mhm.
like he used to say like if I ever used to go and tell him like that I'm bored, for instance, he would tell me to
Mhm.
go stand on my head, and then piss in the air, and see which direction the wind's going. That was his like go to, no matter what, like all the way up until like one of the last times I ever talked to him.
Mhm.
But like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that sounds like my granddad too. He'd say stupid stuff like that all the time, but it would make me laugh every time.
exactly.
Every time.
Um, so it's just so some random places around here. For me, for their favorite food places is there's a diner in my town that does some really good food. I took John, like I said, I took John there when he was up. And then they told us, they actually were like, so we're closing in like 20 minutes. They did one of those to us because we'd been there for so long. And then the other one as well, me and all the college guys will remember this, is Al's French Fries in Burlington, Vermont. They do the greatest fucking fries I think I've ever had in my entire life.
Do you like curly fries?
I Curly fries, sweet potato fries, like you
Ooh,
fry it.
curly fries or waffle fries?
Yes. How about that? Yes.
Okay.
Um, but so now
I
moving
agree.
on. So now moving from food to England. I think this is actually one of the first things that we talked about when we became friends all of almost a year ago was
Mhm.
like, wait, you're from England? I'm from England, like that sort of thing. Um, it's just always been kind of a one of those cool things between us that it's like, yeah, we both were from England and then we moved here, you know.
Mhm.
So and of course I never knew where you actually were from in England until recently when I heard you talking about it with people.
Yeah.
So you were from the Isle of Wight, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
South Coast, England.
so I was from Oxfordshire.
Okay.
So it's kind of one of those things where it's like I didn't realize that because, like, most of the time, well, not most of the time, but a lot of the time, whenever I talk to anyone that's from England, it always seems like they're from like Manchester or like Liverpool, and I'm sitting there like, well, where the fuck are the people from down south area, like the
I
middle
used to
area?
just say I was from London. Like, if anybody
Oh
asked
yeah,
me,
that's
they're
awesome.
like, "Where are you from?" Like, "I'm from London." Like, it was just easier to say that than, like, explain where I'm from. Because yeah,
Well,
it's just so
no,
much easier.
well, I get it because it's a little bit the same thing with with me saying Vermont. It's
Mhm.
like, where are you from? Vermont. Isn't that in Canada somewhere? Yep. Yep, you're right. Yep, it's in Canada. Yep, I'm from Canada, eh? You know? Just because people didn't fuck it, it's like, but,
Right.
yeah, no, what's,
I would get, "Do you know so and so? I know this person from England."
oh my
I'm just
God,
like
yes. Do you know Bob Winovich?
like, you know how big England really is and how many people there are?
The,
It looks small, but
so my old man, he's a great one with if he finds a nitpick or if he finds something that he can turn, he will. So people have done that to him before, and it would be like, it's
right.
like, oh, do you know, like Bob McNougat? And it'd be like, oh, you mean Dave McNougat's kid? And the guy will look right back and be like, like that sort of thing. And it's fucking hilarious watching him do it. One of the other ones, as well, is that I just want to bring it up because it involves one of my English cousins. My dad
Mhm.
had called him Peanut one day,
Yeah,
and he hated it.
right.
To this day, my dad still calls him Peanut because he hates it.
Just because he hated it. Yeah.
And I recently have developed the ability now to, as soon as I find something that pisses someone off, I just nonstop call them that.
Yeah, definitely don't show too many weaknesses around my family like that.
Yeah, as soon
I
as
will, ride
it's
that
just,
shit
it's, oh,
for
there we
way too
go.
long.
Um, so my thing is this is like, so one of the things that you said recently was, like, you've almost been in America as longer than you've been in England, right?
Mhm, almost, yeah.
So of course I've already hit that mark. I'm already fucking well
Right.
done with that. So of course there's a lot of things that I remember about England, but there's a lot of stuff I don't.
Right.
What are some of the big memories? And of course you don't have to go, too personal or too, you know,
Some of the big memories.
just like some things that stick out to you that, like, when you think about it, and like it could just be something with your family or something, but like something that you think
Right.
about and it's like, it's a memory that you have from England that, like, is
Mhm.
like, it's not like we went and saw the Eiffel Tower, or
Right.
um
I just remember playing outside all the time, like, constantly being outside. Like I said, like, before, like, the street that I lived on, um, like, we knew everybody. Like, every single house, like, you knew who lived in that house. You could walk into anybody's house. Like, it was, like, open door policy sorta deal.
mm,
I grew up with, like, all the kids that lived there too. They all went to the same school as I did. Um, so we were just always out, just playing. There was, like, this park by us. There was, like, this woods by us. We were just constantly, like, fucking around outside, like, on bikes and skateboards. Oh, I crashed into a Mercedes Benz one time on my bike, and my dad lost his shit. Um, we lived on, like, a hill, like, their street was a hill, and I was riding my bike, and there's, like, shit cars, like, lined up and down, like, the side of, like, the street, and, of course, I hit the fucking Benz with my bike, like, went over the top of the car pretty much. And the guy come, like, running out and was like, "Did you break it?" Like, yelling at me, and my dad comes running out, and, like, they got into it. It probably wasn't as bad as, like, I remember it being. I just remember being, like, terrified, like, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Because the week before that, I crashed my sister's bike too and broke it. So I was already in like
Oh, so you already had like oh Jesus.
I was already in trouble because I took her bike because her bike was cooler than mine because she got hers second because she's younger than me. So I'm like, fuck, she has a way better bike than I do. So I wanted to like flex on my friends. So I took that one and there was like this tree stump and we used to like pack it with dirt so we could like use it as a ramp.
Uh,
And I caught a bad lip and I bent like the entire like front wheel and like, it was so bad. And I had to
uh,
wheel that bitch back to the house.
that's
I got in
funny.
a lot of trouble for that too.
Like and
But just like playing around like that.
like one of the things I was thinking about was like I remember my grandfather taking me to the pub to play darts.
Oh, we used to play darts all the
And this and
time.
like of course like so like this is when I was 13 when I left.
Mhm.
So like yeah, my grandfather was taking me, to pubs when I was like between like the ages of like 9 and 13 to go play darts, with 30, 40-year-old drunkards, that are just in there every day. And like I remember it was like every time because like there was like two guys that I always used to beat, you know. And I was like, why
Mhm.
the fuck do you keep bringing him in here? My grandfather's name. It's like well, he keeps beating you, and it's fun to watch. You know. Um, but like for me, it's like I remember shit like that. But then also like one of the weird ones for me is like I remember, for me the weird one was school.
Yeah.
So I went to like the normal kind of like elementary school, but then I never
Mhm.
went to the next level. Instead, my dad took me to the American Air Force School, the Dodd School,
Hmm.
um, Department of Defense schooling. So I spent like my entire childhood growing up with friends in my town, this and that, and then as soon as I hit like I think it was 11, I'm off in the
Mhm.
American school system now in England, like on the Air Force base.
Right.
And it was the weirdest fucking thing, and like I remember that huge transition because it went from like being like very English, very this, very that to nope, now it's just full American, have fun.
Yeah.
And like that was always a really weird one for me. And also a fun one, fun little fact here, just because I just remembered it. Um, I I feel like theater was a bigger thing in England than it is in America.
Really?
I don't know why, but I used to take so many fucking theater classes when I was a kid.
We had a class that we had to do
hmm
that was like theater, which is yeah, I guess
So
that didn't really like and that was more of an elective here. That was like a main like course there, I guess. I
I
hated
want to I
that
want to
though.
make sure that I want to make sure that's the
I
right
forgot
thing.
about that and I really hated that actually.
So
Like
I'm
I used to not want to go.
I'm pretty
That was my
sure
first year of high school in England.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm
I
pretty.
blocked that out of my mind.
Oh my
Thanks,
god.
Husky.
Yep, you're welcome. Um, so here's a fun one. I did. So of course like I said we did theater. Um, I did one of the plays. I did a Midsummer Night's Dream. Um, and I can almost guarantee you that there's film of it in my parents' house somewhere.
Yeah.
But shocking, shocking here. I played, and I'm looking. I was just looking at the list of the names. I went just kind of Wikipedia looking at it, and immediately as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Yep, that's who it was." I was Oberon, the king of the fairies, the bad guy of the whole fucking thing. Um, and like I remember it just like it always felt like, and I don't know if it's just because like there's so many different things. Like there's
Mhm.
clubs and this and that and this and that. And in England, I felt like it was just like, no, this is what you do. The other one was sports. I feel like that was like sports wasn't pushed on you like like high school football or high school soccer or like that sort of thing. Like that wasn't a big
Right.
thing in England. I feel like even like rugby, I don't feel like was a thing when I was there.
Mhm.
Um,
That was pretty big and like the first like I said, the first year I only did 1 year of high school there, but that was kind of big there. Like track was fucking huge. Everybody wanted to be like doing track.
hmm.
Track, field hockey, trying to think what else. I didn't play any sports back in England. Actually just I had horses, so I was at the stables all the time.
So Edith said, how long did it take you for your accents to go away? Um, once moving.
I'd
Um,
say about 2 years for me to be
yeah, it
fully
was.
gone.
Mine. So of course, and I think if I remember correctly, John might be able to answer this as well. When I get really drunk, mine comes out.
Yes. Same.
I could be wrong with that, but I've been told it before in the past.
You pass out.
Well, I mean, yes, that also happened. I used, but like, can you guys do a mean accent? I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, it's always that thing. Whenever anyone says like, "Can you do an accent?" They always think of doing like the posh English accent, like that sort of
Right.
thing. When really we know it's more like the bar accent is more of the, you know, right? Yeah, like love, like that sort of thing. For me, anyway, that's how I.
Mine comes out when I'm around my family,
Yes.
especially my grandparents, because they are like I said, like my granddad, like he's having a hard time hearing,
Hmm.
so I have to slow it down anyway and speak up more, and I tend to like revert back more being around them. Um,
Yeah, my
Only
mom,
because you can't understand me. So
like my mom is like that. My mom's accent is still pretty thick. Um,
yeah, my whole family does besides my sister.
it's there's like one lady that comes into the store, and I swear she thinks my mom's just kind of slow or something, because she always has to speak up and talk slowly to her, like that sort of thing. And I'm sitting there just like anytime I'm walking into the store and I see her in there and she's doing that, I'm just like, I just want to hit you, like just fucking talk like a normal human, like. Um, yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah, people still have a hard time understanding my mom. It's gonna be so like I was actually talking to her about this the other day because we went to the AT&T store to get new phones,
hmm.
and she was trying to explain something to this guy, and he just was not getting it. So I was
Oh
like
yeah.
trying to like play like translator like for both of them. And I'm like, how like that's why I lost like that's why I tried to lose my accent because it was so frustrating having a conversation with somebody when they didn't know what you were saying, ever.
The
Or they would
one
just stare at you and be like, "That sounds so cool,"
that
and,
was
like, tilt their head. I'm like, "For
that was one I
it's
was about to
so
say.
frustrating.
When you first moved here, did you have the kids that were like, "Oh, say something in English," like that's
Stay cold, stay cold." Like,
oh
that's
my.
all they wanted me to hear like, say
I just called them all
all the
twats.
time.
I just called them. I just insulted them in English, and they were like, "Oh my god, yeah, he spoke in English." And I'm sitting there like, "Yeah, you fucking twat," like fuck off. Um,
Yeah, I got that a lot.
but I mean, like, it's just the accent thing is always a funny one to me. Whenever people say about the accents. I always find
Mm,
that one interesting because I mean, it's just the weird thing is, and I don't think Americans fully would understand. It's the
mhm,
same thing with an American accent. An American accent changes depending on where in the United States you are. It's the same in England.
right,
Depending on where you are in England, the accent changes just a little bit. I had a
right.
relative, can't think of what his fucking name is, and even if I did, I wouldn't say it on stream anyway. But I had a
You can live
relative,
close to somebody and it still changes, like,
yeah,
pretty
like,
drastically.
and he was one of the old boys. He was like 80s odd when I left England. And you always talk like this, and you do it. And that was how he talked all the time. But you understood it.
That farmer accent,
Exactly. It was, and it's like there's literally an area in England where that's how everyone fucking talks.
everybody does.
It's like, so whenever people are like, oh, do an English accent, I always, well, like, immediately in my head, it's like, should I do it? Should I just fucking start doing that and just fuck with them? But, yeah, no, so of course, what was some of your favorite places in England? Now it was weird.
Favorite places?
Yeah, like in a weird question, but like places that you used to like to go. Like I always used to like. I used to love going to the mall or like I used to love going to Oxford and just walking the streets
Mhm. Yeah.
because it's like there
Cool.
was so many different stores and so many of this, and like the big one was like you're walking this especially in England, I can't remember what store it was now, but I think it was the Disney store. There was a Disney store, so like you have all these different stores and they're all English and they're all old school and
Mhm.
English, and like like they're selling this and that, and then there's just this giant American Disney store out of nowhere, and it's like you know
Right. Um, I lived on an island, so, like, there was
I always forget
the
about that.
main things that yes, we didn't really have, like, a whole lot of stuff like that. Um, it was like a lot of like farms. Like I pretty much grew up on a farm, on the farm and by the
Mm.
beach. Like that's pretty much where I grew up.
That explains
Um,
so much.
I don't know what that
I
means.
don't either. I just thought it sounded fun. Um, one of the things I always remember is I we always used to go to Stonehenge every few years, but then it was one of those things where eventually my dad kind of got sick of going to Stonehenge.
I mean, there's only so many times you can look at rocks, right?
It was that, but then also it's just it was one of those things where it's you go there and there's a fucking million other people and you're just trying to you're just trying to take in the fact that there's this giant monolithic fucking structure here, and you're trying to just take that in, but then there's fucking the English the American family that are like, can
I
you
mean, it's super dope.
move? Like,
I've never seen it before. I'd love to go though.
oh, it's fucking
There's
incredible.
definitely like certain things that I want to go
But
see. I
like
feel like I didn't get to see a whole lot when I was back there because, like I said, I moved when I was 15. So
ah
like I
yeah.
was focused on school, my friends,
Hmm.
like anything like a 15-year-old would be.
Yeah,
I wasn't wanting to go to like Buckingham Palace or like
been
I
there.
didn't care. Right, I didn't care at all at
Yeah.
that point. I mean, now I do. I think it'd be really cool to go back
Well,
and see
and
it
that's
all.
now that I say that, that's one of the other things that I remember is that I feel I went on a lot of school trips.
Oh yeah, I did too. So many fucking Roman school trips. Like we saw Roman roads everywhere.
Yes, and it was
It's like another Roman trip. Let's
and that
go.
was that was one of the
Another
weird ones.
castle.
That was one of the weird ones for me moving here. Was that when I moved here, it's okay, we're gonna talk about English and we're gonna talk about European culture, and I knocked that shit out of the fucking park. And
Hmm.
that's we're going to talk about American culture, and I'm the only kid in the class getting an F because I'm I don't know what the fuck this is,
Oh yeah, I had no idea either.
um, but my dad though he got sick of going to Stonehenge, so we started finding all these different areas like the Rollright Stones, the Three Kings, just these
Hmm.
off the places where there's still these monolithic stones that are there, and they have stories and the White Horse
Right.
of Uffington.
Hmm.
The little mound where St. George slayed the dragon, and there's a white chalk patch, which is supposedly where the blood from the dragon was, those
Hmm.
sort of things. And I fucking loved going to those places. I could go to the White Horse of Uffington once a week, every week, and I would be fucking happy.
Really?
Oh, 100%. I love
We didn't
that
do
shit.
anything like that.
I love that shit. I love all the historical shit like that, where it's this is just a giant chalk of a fucking horse in the middle of a fucking mountain in the middle of nowhere. Why the fuck is it there? No one knows,
Yeah. Whenever we went on vacation, it was either like a small vacation where we would like go camp down by the beach, or
Hmm.
we would go to Spain,
Oh, all right.
like with family, or we started going obviously to America too.
Yeah.
That's how we ended up here.
Yeah. So we used to go to we used to go from Oxford. We'd drive up to Scotland,
Hmm.
and we'd stay up past. I think it was.
I am part Scottish.
Ooh. Trying to think. Inverness, I think area. We were all the way up there. We were way up there. In Scotland. But I mean, and it's kind of one of those things. Those are the things that I remember more than anything. Is just kind of those sort of aspects of it. Um, can remember, believe how many abbeys and castles there are. Yeah. I mean, that was my thing. Is I love that aspect of it. I love the historical aspect of stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Um, so of course, so that's the kind of the stuff that your favorite stuff, the stuff that you kind of miss. What about the stuff that you don't miss from England? How about that? Is there anything that you don't miss about being over there?
Hmm. I don't know if there's things that I don't miss because I don't think I really realize. I don't know. Not don't miss things that going back
Hmm.
would be like difficult. Like public transportation would be a pain in the ass now.
Yep.
Like the fact that I can just like get into my car and go wherever I want versus like having to take a train or having to take a bus or like you know
Yep.
dealing with that. Like that would be difficult. I don't think I would want to go back to that.
My
Um,
one of my childhood friends is still over there. Said that there's certain areas now over there where you can't go into a full town.
oh yeah, the amount of like gangs and stuff there now
Hmm.
is kind of stupid. One of my actually my best friend. um, back there. He was like walking through. He was trying to get home, and back in England, like so, I mean, like especially like on the island, hardly anybody has cars. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody just walks everywhere because it's close.
Yeah.
So you'll be hanging out somewhere, and you've been at the pub all night, so you just walk home. Um, and he went through like he got like I don't know what happened actually, but he was in like the wrong part of town, and he was from like
Yeah.
another side of town, and these towns are literally like next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But because he was there past a certain time, and they knew he was from there, he got like the shit kicked out of him. Like he was in hospital for a couple of days.
Yeah, it's
Um,
there's
it's
certain
really bad.
there's certain things that's just kind of like that sort of stuff is the stuff that I don't miss. Like the more and more I hear from
Right.
like one of my buddies, like every few months I try to message him, see how he's doing, see how his wife's doing, and like how and like it always comes down to how are things over there, you know, um, and it's just it's crazy, American is better. You can carry a gun, shoot a punk for trying to jump you. Yeah, I mean, well, and that's one of the things. It's like it's funny because like I always remember people being like, "Well, there's no guns in England, and look how safe they are." And it's like, yeah, look at how many knife attacks there are.
Mhm.
Like look at how many people get like struck by cars.
Right.
It's like and it always goes back. Like, of course, I'm not going to get into that fucking topic, of gun control and everything. But it's like, oh, if you're an evil person, you have evil intentions, you're gonna do evil. Doesn't matter what the fuck the rules are. Like,
It's just it's things they've done forever.
yeah,
Like it's just all they know. That's like what they do. I don't know. You just don't go into that area.
yeah. I mean, well, that's what he's like. Because I was asking him about like the hometown that we grew up in over there, Chow Grove, and
Hmm.
yeah, I was like, how is it over there? And he's like, yeah, I don't know anymore. I was like, what? I was like, when you left? He's like, yeah. He's like, we had to leave. Like we kind of like that sort of thing. And I was like, fucking A. But like he's told me
Yeah.
stories of like there's places where like like as soon as you start driving into town, you slowly
Hmm.
start seeing like people are just coming out of houses
Hmm.
because you're not from there. So why are you here?
Right.
And it's one of
Yeah, I
those
know.
like it's like yeah, that's when you kind of slowly start pressing your foot on the the gas a little bit and get the fuck out of there. But
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go the wrong side.
I mean
It's just funny. There's like certain times like you can go through
mhm.
certain times, but as soon as it hits that time, like that's the agreement. Like you better not go in there.
It's not it's crazy. I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, my big thing is like the weird one for me is that like since my grandparents passed, I haven't wanted to go over there.
Really?
Yeah, like it completely like so my grandfather passed when I was a freshman in college. Um we immediately like he passed and then within like 3 days we were on a flight over for like a week. Um
Do you still have family there?
I have my I so I have the quote unquote family that's
Hmm.
over there. I have two uncles, aunt and four cousins.
Hmm.
Um
That's on your mom's side, right?
yeah, on my mom's side. One of my uncles I love, the other one I don't talk to or talk about anymore.
Hmm.
Um, and then my cousins don't talk to me. Like I might get a message once a year, like that
Right.
sort of thing. Like it's just it's that
Hmm.
thing of like when my grandfather passed, that was like kind of the beginning of it. That was my freshman
Right.
year. Before my senior year, we went back over there for like a month, as like a vacation. And when I was over there, I was excited to be there because it was like during World Cup. Um, I'm back home. That was kind of my
World Cup
thinking.
is so fun back there.
Exactly. Like I was like I like and one of my cousins that were there, he
Hmm.
decided that, now that he was a little older, that now he's the big shit. Um
Hmm.
and he decided to just blatantly come right at me and say, "You're not English. Don't ever say you're fucking English because you're not. You shouldn't even fucking be here. Why are you here?" Like that sort of thing. And he started doing that on me. Um of course I'm
That's
not
gross.
yeah. So of course that, started some shit. Um,
Hmm.
but then my grandmother passed. I don't fucking know how long ago now. It's been a few years. Um, but then like as soon as it's been a few years since she passed, but the last time I talked to her was fucking ages before that because she got dementia. And
Hmm.
one of the last things she said to me was "I love you," and she was very like she was an orphan, So she never said that. If you said it to her, she
Right.
would respond, but she would never initiate it.
Right.
So when she said it
Well,
to
that's cool
me,
that you got that moment with
well, that
her.
was the thing, is like when she said it to me, that was kind of one of the things when I noticed, like I knew kind of like, okay, like I want, like, as much as it's gonna hurt me moving
Mhm.
forward, not being able to talk to her, not wanting to talk to her, I have to end it
Mhm.
here because that's the last thing I want, you know.
Right.
And it did. It sucks not being able to talk to
Yeah.
her, but ever since like when
Right.
she passed, like I was like at that point, like within like a week or two, I was like, I don't ever want to go back. I have no reason to go back, you know.
Right. Yeah. I'm excited to go back at some point.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Now, when you go back, you're
Um,
gonna go. Are you going to go like to mainland, or you're gonna go back to like Isle of Wight?
the Isle of Wight. That's where our family's at. Um, I want to take Noah back.
Okay.
I want to try to go back in the next like 4 or 5 years because I feel like he'll be old enough then.
Yeah.
Um, so that'd be super fun. My grandparents are starting to get to the age where we're gonna have to visit more.
Mm.
It's harder for them to come out here. So there'll be a couple of trips for that. But haven't been back in years, so like I'm excited just to go back just to see it again.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like if I were to go back, one, I would want to go back with other people. Like not my family. I would want to go back with other people, like friends or
Right.
you know, that sort of thing. But
Yeah, I probably wouldn't stay there the whole time either, though. Like if I'm gonna fly all the way back there, I'd want to go to a couple of different places. Like I
yeah.
would want to fly like from there, like go to a couple of different places, like in Europe.
Well, like I would want to go to, because there's a lot of places. Of course, now that I'm older, the internet is more advanced than it was when I was there.
Hmm.
Like I always wanted to go to Hadrian's Wall, for instance.
Oh, that would be cool.
So for everyone out there that doesn't know, Hadrian's Wall was a wall that separated Scotland from England. And in every single picture as a child, Hadrian's Wall was like a few little rocks here and there that were like broken down and like a broken down wall. When really
Right.
that's just the pictures that they show you, but there's actually like fucking full length parts of Hadrian's Wall that are just like fully still intact. And like
Yeah, that would be actually super dope to go see.
yes, I mean, like I would love to see places like that. I would love to go to some castles that I never went to. You know,
Hmm.
I'd love to see if I could visit. Of course, you can't actually visit inside, but I'd love to go to the Poison Garden if you know what that is.
I actually don't know what that is.
So it's a giant garden that has like all of the poisonous plants in the world, like that sort of thing, in one garden.
Really?
Yeah, and like you're not like I'm pretty sure you're not allowed access to it, but it's one of those things where it's like if you go on a certain trip of like a building, they like show you it from outside of a window, sort of thing. Um,
That's cool.
but like that's my thing is like I would love to see those sort of things, kind of like the monuments, the statue, you know, like that sort of aspect
Hmm.
of it, the historical part again. You know, of course I want to go to like Norway, Sweden, all that as well. Um, but like that would be my thing is like if I went back, I wouldn't tell my relatives over there. I would just go back with friends and then post the pictures online. And they're like, "Why didn't you say anything?" I'd be like, "Oh, whoops, I forgot." Um, you know, but
I could not get away with that.
oh, I easily can because, like I said, I've basically
No.
I've gone so after a few things that happened, and only a few people know about it. So I'm not gonna get into it fully. The people that do know about it know about it. Like that's the way I want it.
Right.
But after the few things that happened, like I basically like disowned to an extent part of my family because it's one of those things
Right.
where it's like when I have people who are in my life for one of them now. I think I just got the 12-year, I think it was, friend anniversary on Facebook between me and my buddy Sturge. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I've known him for less time than I actually lived in England. But yet he's my family and would never treat me the way that I was treated by people who are blood relatives,
Right.
you know? So it's like
Do you still have friends there?
I have a few. I have a few friends, but it's like it's one of, like I said, it's one of those things where it's like I message them online like like once or twice a year,
Hmm.
and it's kind of the hey, how you doing? You know, is
Right.
everything okay? Like you're not dead
Hmm.
yet, right? Like that sort of thing, you know.
Right.
Um, but
I have a couple of friends that I still talk to like pretty consistently. The person that got beat up, I talk to him a lot, like a couple of times a week. Um, and then there's a couple of other people that I talk to like maybe like once or twice, like a month. But it's like for most of the time, it's like you see someone's like Instagram story, so you'll like comment on it, you'll talk for like
Yeah.
a little bit.
Well, again, like I said, that was a weird one for me, is because
I'll
like
kill them all.
I, I grew up with with a small group of kids, and then like when we got to the age where like yeah they were going to like high school, I fucked off and went to the American school, and then I had those friends for 2 years, and then I fucked off, and then I came to America. So it's kind of one of those things. Where it's like the friend that I basically talked to,
Mm-hmm.
like that's like the only one that like ever decided to like try and keep in touch,
Right.
So I mean, it kind of one of those things, but no, I mean it's like I love the fact that I was there. I just it's like yeah, I really have almost no want to go back, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Right.
But um yeah, so that's kind of the end of the topics. Unless there's anything else that you'd want to talk about, Athena.
Mm. Did I have to have questions for you?
I mean, if you want to. I mean, no one's ever. I
Can I
think
ask you the same questions?
I normally try to like back and forth them, but no, I mean I think I've only had like one or two people actually ask me questions back.
Really?
Um,
What did they ask you?
I don't remember now, to be 100% honest with you. I think Xander asked me a bunch of questions back.
He would. He's nosy.
But of course, like there's that, and then like of course with a lot of the football stuff, it's just like well, why did you feel like that? Those
Right.
kind of easy. Um, but
All
other
right, I
than
got a question. When are you getting your PC?
when,
Yeah.
if I do,
Hmm.
it will either be very end of this year, beginning of next year.
There we
When I
go.
do, follow up. When am I building your PC? Yeah, John, that's probably what's going to happen. But yeah, no. If it's like that, because that's the other thing as well, is that like the way that I set, because I moved my entire living room around.
Hmm.
So I actually don't have a couch in my living room anymore. I literally only have my streaming setup.
That's pretty cool, though. Make
Yes,
a whole
and
room for it.
yeah, but like this is my living room. Like that's all I have. Um, so it's like, but if I were to get if I do get a PC, I'm gonna have to not completely rechange it, but like everything's gonna change to an extent because I'm moving stuff around.
Right.
Um, but yeah, no, that's kind of the answer though. Is that like if I do, it's gonna be later this year.
There we go. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Couches are overrated. I know. I like don't even use couches anymore. Now I got a PC. I just sit in this squeaky ass chair.
See, I like. Of course, my other thing is like I'm 6'4". Like the couch that I had is
You're
actually
6'4".
like.
You're so tall.
So this is one of the things I've shown a few people this. My buddy John is 6'6", and we were roommates.
6?
Yeah. So I was showing a picture recently of me and him from his wedding, and it's funny because it's one of the only pictures that actually like I look like the small guy in it. You know, it's one of my favorite pictures as well that I have. So maybe at some point I'll show it on stream if you guys stop by. But
Hmm.
yeah, no, it's yeah. So for me, couches are tough because like I'm fucking tall as fuck. So like one of the people that left the apartment block that I'm in left a couch, and the couch was like 7 foot long.
Hmm.
So like I was like fuck yeah. So I like brought it in my apartment, and like I would just lay down. It's like if I wasn't streaming, I would just lay on my couch and I'd watch videos.
Right.
But then I was like, I need to move this out so I can move stuff around,
Right.
and yeah, now I have my beaten up Killer Bee gaming chair that has a broken wheel that I duct tape together. Um,
My feet barely touch the ground when I sit on a couch.
Jesus. Um, but yeah,
So, end of the year. Heard.
possibly end of the year.
Shorty struggles. No kidding.
But yeah, no, like I said,
Oh, shit.
as of right now, Valorant is going to start becoming. I'm going to play Valorant more on stream. I
It's not a
just
pain in the ass to play it on your laptop, though?
no.
No?
The only difference is, and I got picked on by Dana because of it, is that I have really good posture and I'm really like focused because it's not like I'm not used to playing PC games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, like, of course, the way that I set everything up was for streaming up my Xbox. So when I'm
Right.
playing on my laptop, I like have to like not fully change, but I got to move stuff around. So the way that I sit is I sit like basically directly in front of my laptop with a microphone right in my mouth, and I'm just like staring at the screen because but like it's like perfect form, perfect, like sitting.
Change the center of your hearts.
Yeah. But no, I mean it's not that bad of it's not that big of a pain in the ass. The biggest pain in the ass is just walking in the video games.
Right.
Like yesterday, yesterday when I was playing, I pressed D by accident, and for me, I switched D and E for walking for the movement. So when I pressed D, it brought up Brimstone's little pad for me to put smoke bombs down, and I didn't mean to press it. And I'm like,
I'm not used to any of the characters yet.
Well, so I press D, so it brings up the giant the map on my screen, and directly behind the map, because it's a little bit transparent, I see a Viper come around the corner at me. Mm-hmm. So I'm immediately freaking out and pressing buttons, realizing that I need to repress D, but I don't remember how to do that. And, or does that at least twice every time she's a master? Yeah.
No, she doesn't. Who is Lauren?
Yeah, who's that? Weird name.
The fuck is Lauren?
But yeah, if that's it though.
Yeah. Husky, this was fun.
Yeah, that was really aggressive.
Really? Sorry.
Yeah. But no, it was fun. Like
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that I remembered after.
That was the first girl.
Yeah. That was one of the things. Like I remember way back when I first started doing it, you were saying about how like you wanted to be on, and then it just kind of like so you said that no,
getting more and more hurt.
Yeah, okay. So I originally put out a thing saying like who wants to be on, and I was like yes, I want to be on, and then I never heard from her again about it.
I didn't know how to keep reaching out. I didn't know how to be that needy.
Yes, everyone needs to be
Remember
needy.
Me, Husky?
But yeah, no, I'm glad that I was able to get you on, and I appreciate you coming on. It really, it was a lot of fun. I knew it would be a lot of fun. I knew it would be a lot of laughs as well. So I was really happy that you were able to be the guest this week, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, I would 100% do this again too.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing is like Xander recently reached out and said that asked if he could come back on.
Don't pick him, pick me.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. I don't have that many friends. So I mean, I'm gonna be getting.
Who have you known longer, Husky? Who have you known longer?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm gonna get both of you back on at some point. So I mean, and it's one like I want to get Edith on at some point. I've been asking him if he wants to do it. Like, and it's one of those things. As soon as football hits as well, I gotta change up the podcast a little bit because I can't do it on Sunday nights because Sunday nights is when I do my play-by-play.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm instead going to move it to what I'm thinking right now is I'm going to move it to Wednesday nights, and I'm going to do the first like 45 minutes to an hour will be with a guest, and then the last little bit of it will be with like football related.
That'd be fun.
There we go. I mean, I'm going to talk here to Edith after this because he likes the way I perp it.
Is he trying to steal my show right now?
I don't know. He meant to say.
Anthony, this is my show. Wait for your own. Wait for your own damn show. This is mine.
But so, last final statements, Athena. What do you got to say to the people?
Who's Anthony?
Good response.
Some dick. Wait, what was your question?
I was saying final statements, last thoughts, like that sort of thing for the people, for anything, like anything you want to say, like that sort of thing.
Anything I want to say?
Yeah, kind of like an ending. Right. Is there anything you want to say, like that sort of thing?
my ending was saying thank you to you.
Oh, okay.
But no, this is seriously though. This is like super fun. I'm glad you're doing stuff like this. Like this is really cool, Husky. For real.
Thank you.
Really, really cool.
Thank
You're
you.
literally like doing this like from across like the state, and like you're like met all these friends, and you're like putting this all together, and you put so much time and effort into all of your like literally everything that you do on here. Like this is really cool.
Well, I really appreciate
So
that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So, with that, thank you everybody who came out to watch tonight, everybody that hosted, the bits, everything. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Athena for being the guest this week.
Yes, sir.
So, depending on where you are when you hear/watch this, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we will talk to y'all later. Bye.